just perspective.
That's just not true. If that thing moves away from you, it's gonna eventually converge top, bottom, left, right
Yes.
into the
Well,
horizon. It's gonna
it,
It will
it doesn't. It,
set.
it doesn't converge. It appears to converge.
it'll get smaller and smaller and smaller. Right? So here would be a box that's one step closer to the horizon. Right here. See how much smaller this box would be? And as we go to the horizon, they get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So the bottom of the box is never going to go below that horizon ever. It's impossible.
No, it's gonna eventually converge with the horizon and disappear.
No, it will eventually become so small, right? It'll be eventually be this little box way down here.
You won't be able to see it. It'll just
Completely agree. Completely agree. You won't be able to see the whole box. You will never, ever have a box right here.
But I don't see how that's a problem on a flat plane.
Well, if we have this box here, right, where the top of the box, well, let's draw this box here. It's completely beneath the horizon. You're never going to get this box to disappear. You're never going to get this shaded part of the box to disappear below the horizon.
Right. So if you went to the where that horizon is, that box,
I don't know. I think it would follow the same rule. But go ahead, Brent. I'm sorry.
the box will still assume that box is above a person's head right here in the foreground. If you go all the way to the horizon, that box is still going to be above their head.
This is a cloud. This is a boat. The cloud is never going to go below the horizon ever. It'll get so small that you can't see it anymore, but it will never, ever, 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 ever go below the horizon. And this boat will never go above the horizon. The bottom of this boat will absolutely never disappear. If you have a boat that goes above and below the horizon, like a sailboat, and the bottom of the boat is right here, as we go to the horizon, that bottom is never going to go below the horizon. Ever.
Sir,
It's
my
impossible.
belief is that they will all follow the same rule that we talked about with the first one. And they will all converge. And as the more distance you get, they will eventually just, in your mind and eyes, disappear. They're not there, but they're there.
I agree with
far
you.
Away. Okay.
Yes. Yes, I agree with you. They will look like they disappear. Here we have the blue part of the boat, of a box, right? And here we have our vanishing points. We're going to draw a line from here to here, and then from here to here, okay? This blue part, we're going to call that the bottom of the boat. That's never, ever, ever going to go below the horizon, above the horizon, right?
Yeah.
Never. It's going to stay right here forever. Mathematically impossible for it to ever go above. If anything, yes, the whole boat will get to be so small that you can't see it anymore. But you're never going to get to the point where, for some reason, the bottom of the boat is gone, but the top is still there. You might lose the whole boat. Like you said, it'll get to be so small that it'll look like it's just right here. But you're never going to get this.
John, he's not explaining the globe. He's explaining perspective. And thank you, Coffee Breath, for this explanation. It's pretty awesome to see. And you are an artist. We've seen your art is pretty amazing. And let me ask you, do you have somewhere you share your art? Because we've had that question before. Oh, he dropped? Damn. Looks like he closed everything. And Oz, looks like your camera is frozen again. Are you there?
The connection has been kind of flaky.
No, I can see Oz.
Oh,
He's moving
there,
around.
there he moved. How perspective works on a globe, John? when if Coffee Breath comes back, we can we can address that because I am
No,
not sure.
that's cool. I mean, we don't want to take the whole show up if you guys.
Coffee, I was going to ask you what. Do you have a link where you can share your art? Because we've had that question a couple of times, and it would be amazing to share it with the audience if you have a link or something.
JoshuaElick.com.
Can you send it to me on the private chat so I can share it with everyone? And thank you so much for that demonstration. John, taking back Eden, had another question that maybe you can address. Would you be able to explain how does perspective work on a globe? His point was that right now you were doing perspective on a flat plane. How would that translate to a globe?
Yeah, I can. It's the exact same principle. You start with your horizon is in the exact same place, but instead of straight lines, to connect
Sorry.
things. Oh, that's okay.
There we go.
There's our horizon, right? Here's a box. Here's your vanishing point. And if you wanted to draw this on a curved surface, the only difference is in Euclidean geometry, you have straight lines, and in spherical perspective, you have curved lines. Those are terrible curves, but you get the idea. And the same rules would apply. The ratio from the bottom of this thing to the horizon remains unchanged throughout the whole thing.
All right. That's very, very interesting. Thank you for this.
Yeah, it's physically impossible for something to disappear bottom up due to perspective on a flat or a globe Earth. And when Whitsitt says this, I'm always like, that's just a blatant lie. And he says it's due to angular perspective or something. And he's saying that if you have a boat here, here's your eye. And he's saying that the angle from your eye to the bottom of the boat is smaller than the angle from your eye to the top of the boat. So this angle is smaller than this angle. And yes, he's correct. But that doesn't describe how things work in perspective. The closer this thing gets to the horizon, the entire thing shrinks.
Mm-hmm.
But
the bottom-up obstruction is the first thing that comes when it starts going like over the curve.
Right. So due to perspective, you will never, ever, ever get this boat where you just see the sails.
Hey, Max?
Yes.
You should go to his website and pull that elephant with the butterfly ears. That's fantastic.
That elephant with butterfly ears just sold at the local cancer center, donated it to a cancer center auction. And
you should show that, though, on the stream. It's really good. I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah. Let's do that. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Share screen. Isa, how are you doing? You are muted. Again, I've left the link to Joshua Elick, and look at this artwork. It's amazing, and we just heard from him that he donated this to a cancer ward. That's so commendable. Thank you for all of this, the explanation, sharing your art with us, and the donation. That's pretty impressive. We know how long. Oh, I remember when you were painting this cardinal. You were on a stream, and I asked you. It was one of the first times you came on the show.
It looks like a cardinal just ate Thanksgiving dinner.
It's a very fat and cold cardinal.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Thank you for sharing with us. And if you want to check that out, you have the link there. There's so much more if you scroll down. So support your local artists before they get big. That's how they get big. All right. Any other topics? Anything you want to? You look like you want to speak, Os. Anything you want to bring up?
No, if somebody knows anything about how to set up channel memberships, please let me know on Discord. I don't know how to, because it's been bugging me this whole time for gifted channel memberships. I have a 99-cent membership, but
There's
when
tons
you
of
guys
people that
gift
can help you.
membership, who?
There's tons of people in the community that can help you.
That's what I'm asking for. If somebody can help me, like figure out how to set it up where people can gift the 99-cent memberships and the $2.90 instead of the 2.99-cent memberships, contact me and let me know how to do that. So, because I think it would be cooler that you guys, because it's wonderful. David's just spent $2.99 to give a channel membership when the cheapest membership is 99 cents.
And a flat earther got one. How funny is that?
And he sniped
cool.
Isa, who is on stage right now. So Isa, you're a member now. Enjoy your your icons, and being a member of Matters Now.
I got the membership.
Yes, you got it.
Oh wow, thank you.
The other day, Robin sniped you on Mark Reed's stream, and now you get sniped here. You've been hunting those bullets, my friend.
Yeah. I don't get call out, so it's cool.
Now I make more money with the $2.99 than the 99-cent one, but I'd love to have like 1,000 members. Like for that, he could have gifted 3 for the same amount of money, right? I'd rather have 3 members and
You're silly.
Yeah.
Oh, and we have a super chat from Icy Spin, $1.99. How hasn't one person found what's beyond the ice wall? Good question. Thank you for bringing that up.
That's it.
Some people do. Maybe you don't, but
I could play my video from Mr. Beast. Thank you, Monkey Cat Pat.
I actually have a question. I'm sorry, I'm coming a little bit late. I had a lot of stuff that was happening. But I have a question that I'm still thinking about with the flat Earth model, which is these elements of the ether and the firmament. How do we measure these things? How do we know? Like, I can understand that there might be critiques of the globe model. I've heard those critiques, like the vantage point and the neo-Tychonian model. I'm familiar with those things and kinematic equivalents. See, I got them down. I know how to say them now. Maybe I should be a debater on this. But I'm just curious, what is the substance of this firmament? What is this ether? Like, I think that this is important to understand. In understanding the flat Earth model, we have to understand these components. Just like when we think about like mathematics and science.
There's a lot of conjecture. Yeah. There's a lot of thoughts. I mean, like I come from, not everyone's gonna agree with what I say. Like, I come from like a biblical cosmology, so like the firmament to me, I don't know if it's like a glass dome or it could be like H3. Some people have thought maybe. I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Icy Spin, $1.99. You measure it by sending a rocket through it.
That's pretty funny.
And Monkey Cat Pat has gifted one Matters Now membership, and it went to Threatened Sanity. Thank you very much. Everyone has been making it rain today. Thank you so much. The support is awesome. Sorry I interrupted you, Isa. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know if I was trying to say something, which is throughout the history of science, scientists disagree as much as flat earthers do, and there's a way to resolve. There's a way to resolve that disagreement. Is you do an experiment, and then the result of the experiments decide what the case is, right? But so that's what flat earthers have to do, is they have to agree. What was your Dr. J thing? it's similar to that. The flat earthers would have to agree to an experiment that would decide between differing factions in the flat earth as to what is this or that, what is the firmament, what is this other thing, whatever the question is, and then do the experiment and see what happens. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if they're wrong, if their initial hypothesis or their initial thought was wrong, then they would say, "Oh yeah, I was wrong. Accept the new thing and move on." That's something we were talking about the other day about the epistemic humility of just admitting you were wrong and moving ahead.
Well, epistemic humility too is about making a humble claim about the hypothesis and base it upon an inductive analysis and say, I'll hold this to be true until it's falsified. And if you want to watch like the biblical claims, cosmology about what the dome is and stuff like that, you can watch the Dean Odell Greg Locke debate, and I did a breakdown of that on Matters Now too. So I think it's episode 2 on our channel. Where
I
Dean
didn't even know
Oldham
you did a
covers
breakdown of that. Oh, cool.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like 4 episodes on that. With it.
Okay, nice.
To like kind of steal that position about the experiment. I've heard that flat earthers do experiments, Brenda. Witsit mentioned a Faraday cage, and he said that he had the Faraday cage and he did the experiment. So I mean, what do we say to that?
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see the results of it. I've only heard about it.
Maximilian Villa, do flat earthers accept a 24-hour sun seen from the poles? Thank you for being a member for 1 month, bud. And Coffee Breath's website, I posted that in the chat, so you guys can check that out.
Well, they
Some
agree
people
on
think the videos of those 24-hour sun videos are sketch, so I don't know.
So no, they don't accept. They always claim something is weird. Even when someone like Mr. Beast, who has nothing to gain from lying about this, makes that claim, they always find some minor thing.
He's
to
got
object.
too much money. I can't trust him, Max.
Yeah, but why would he lie? He's got all the money he will ever need and want. Why would he
That's
lie?
what makes me not trust him.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of other videos of 24-hour sun.
Yeah, in the north.
How did Mr. Beast destroy Flat Earth?
And there goes the plane!
And Maximiliano Villa, he's from Argentina. That's like right next to me. If you go to the southernmost point of Argentina, you don't get the 24-hour sun, but you can get like 18 hours of daylight a day during the summer, which is something like crazy. That wouldn't happen on a flat Earth, no matter how hard you try. Oh, Flat Sabbath with... yeah, but you've never seen mass attracting mass, have you? Yes, we have. We are repeating the Cavendish experiment, and I'm going to give you the latest one, which is with like very small amounts of gold, and they ground everything. They make it inside Faraday cages. They have made them inside vacuum chambers. We see mass attracting mass. You people, flat earthers, tend to hand wave away with the Cavendish experiment.
There was a
Oz is over there
person.
dropping his wand a bunch of times. Is that your version of the Cavendish, Oz?
No, that's just gravity at
But
work.
this is the observation. So we formed hypothesis, and so we did a Cavendish experiment that measured it horizontally. So we can eliminate the vertical observation by measuring horizontally. And Craig brought up an example of a pendulum swinging more severely, or more like oscillations towards the mountain, with the mountain he mentioned in the video too. So we have another test that you could do against a mountain.
John says Flatman B in the center of things here. Yeah.
Yeah. He's in the center of the globe model.
No, that's just the
Therefore-
way that StreamYard put me. I'm in the center. That's weird.
Yeah.
it does
Therefore, flat Earth. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch.
yeah,
don't
we're
know.
in the center, guys. It's a premonition.
How do mountains form if the Earth's flat too? And why is there hills? Are those flat too? Mountains and hills are flat?
Oh, no. Like a topographic plane, bro. Like, it's got hills, valleys, mountains.
Yeah, well, why would that happen on the flat Earth, though? What would be the point in it?
What would be the point of having hills and valleys and mountains? I don't know.
Yeah, on the globe, we know why that happens. But on flat Earth, you don't have a reason for that happening.
Well, it's just created that way?
That's
Yeah.
your only reason, I guess. So that's
Yeah,
fair enough.
God
Yes, sir.
did it, though, is not a scientific answer. That's a religious answer.
Well, I know that I said, remember in the beginning, I said I have bias a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's
but
fine.
Yeah, you could say God did it. I accept that. I accept that. I'm not going to question that. That's fine.
But like, why should I give up empiricism entirely for my epistemology?
So you have math. Why there's mountains and valleys?
No, empiricism is not math.
Oh, it's not. Okay.
No, empiricism is about using my senses and logic and math and falsifiability and induction to understand the nature of the reality around me. Now, your method of knowledge is like biblical, I guess, but I think, which is not epistemic
More
humility.
spiritual. Yeah, I like a belief system, and I know that coming in that I'm doing a fallacy.
Oh,
Right.
there it is. I was going to pull up the
Good
Mr.
that you
Beast one.
admit it. Yes,
Religion.
our production team now IC Spin sent me over on Discord. You can find me on Discord. It's MXXXD, and he sent us this video, so I'm going to share it with everyone here. It's just 2 minutes.
It's on Vimeo.
And-
Wow, I forgot that platform existed.
24-hour sun.
24-hour sun. Look at that, dude.
But-
That's beautiful.
But epistemology is like the theory of knowledge, how you understand things are true, right? So you got to think about what the best method is for us to understand, like how things are true about our reality that we all
And
live
this is
in.
at the North Pole, correct?
No, this is the South Pole.
South Pole.
South Pole.
So I have another
Mhm.
question. I'm sorry, I have lots of questions.
Yeah, this is Antarctica. 5-day time lapse uninterrupted.
I have one other question too.
Bro, I had to look into it, dude.
No, I mean, what objection could you have? You said that
It's a video. I gotta see the source. I gotta figure out what's going on.
It's Photoshop, remember?
Well, it's not Photoshop.
It has to be.
I can play I have permission to play this other video. I mean, play that one. It's sort of,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
oh, here. Okay. It's 2 minutes. I think it is here. Everybody gets muted for 2 minutes.
How did Mr. Beast destroy Flat Earth?
And there goes the plane!
Mr. Beast went to Antarctica to destroy Flat Earth.
We're literally at the bottom of the globe at the coldest place on Earth.
There's actually a ring around us that's containing the water.
They even think the sun moves between the smaller Tropic of Cancer and the larger Tropic of Capricorn, then moves back to the Tropic of Cancer every year.
Let me and you go to Antarctica, spend a week there in the summer, and let's see if the sun does a 360-degree circle all the way around us. If so, it's a ball.
But what about the sun? Did it ever set?
The hard part about Antarctica is the sun never goes down. You don't know when it's night or not.
They're probably asleep because it's 4 a.m. The sun literally never goes down in Antarctica, so night one was rough.
It's the next morning, and I don't know if I'm supposed to get out of bed or not, because the sun's just always up.
Currently 2:30 a.m. and the sun is as bright as ever. That's because here in Antarctica, the sun never sets. Just goes like this.
The sun does a 360-degree circle all the way around us. If so, it's a ball.
So let's have a look where the sun would have to be on Pancake World at 2:30 in the morning. They were at Union Glacier, which is the same time zone as southern Chile, GMT minus 3 hours. At 2:30 a.m. on the Terra Tortilla, the sun would be directly over the South Indian Ocean. That's as far away as possible from where Mr. Beast was if we use the flat Earth map. But the sun was up. At the exact same time, all of North America was enjoying a dark, dark night, even though North America is much closer to where the sun is on the dirt pizza.
There you go.
Terra Tortilla, that was funny.
He's
so
been
good.
insulting, but
Uh
whatever.
no, but I mean it's a quip. It's a fun quip, and it makes sense in tortilla in Spanish. I don't know. John has sent me something on Discord. John, those images that you sent where you just removed the gamma, they mean absolutely nothing. Thank you.
I just don't understand why I should know where the sun should be if I don't even know what it is and what it should be doing. So.
Well, we know where it is.
Straw
We
man
know
for me.
what it's doing.
Yeah, you got your model. That's fine.
But how does that follow? Right?
Oh, it's
Why?
just like it's all right, bro.
I can know where something is without knowing what it is, right? There could be an object in the sky above me, and I could track it through.
How can I presume what it's supposed to do, how it's supposed to act? I don't know what it is. I don't know why it does what it does.
Yeah, but you can track where it is and what it does without knowing what it is. Just like I can track this object that's in the sky above me.
Like, it should do this. It should do that. Isn't that like a begging the question fallacy? Like,
No, that's exactly what science does.
Observation.
Okay, I do an observation, I make a prediction. If the prediction, then I go find it. If the prediction matches reality, then you were correct. If the prediction was wrong, then you were wrong, and you move on. You make another prediction.
So it's like a nuclear reactor 93 million miles away and sometimes 90 million miles away. And, you know, I mean, that's a begging the question fallacy in itself. And then
That's
the
not what
inverse
begging
law
the
of light
question
wouldn't even
means.
allow us to see it, but that's supposed to be okay.
Well,
but then me saying I don't know what it is, that's bad.
Well,
do we deny nuclear reactors exist?
Some do.
A gas ball in a vacuum? I don't get it.
Well, we don't say that the sun is. We say it's a fusion reactor, not a fission reactor. But like we have nuclear reactors on Earth. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay. Do you agree we're working on fusion reactors on Earth?
I mean, to the best of my knowledge, I guess, yeah.
Okay. Do you
Do you
believe
know the difference between fission and fusion?
I'm not a scientist, brother. I'm a layman.
Okay.
One is splitting the atom, and another one is fusing two atoms.
Well, this is sort of aside the point about the 24-hour Antarctic sun, though, because based on your model, on the flat Earth model, you shouldn't see 24 hours of sunlight in Antarctica, but you do.
Yeah.
And so that's a direct falsification of the model. You could change the model.
I don't have a model, though.
Yeah, you can just.
I come from. I don't know where
Yeah.
I live.
Yeah, you can just say I don't know. You can.
The globe model to the best of my ability, in my mind
Yeah.
at least, and I'm secure in that. And now I'm just trying to figure out where I'm at. Is that fair?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you can just say I don't know, but then don't say that you do know. Right.
Well, I know
so
about
that you
certain
can
things,
no
but
longer.
Other things I said I don't. I've said I don't know
Yeah.
about.
Well, here's the case in point. Flat Sabbath is saying nuclear reactors are real, but atoms are not real. So he's making two knowledge claims, like factual declarations of truth, that they both cannot be true. He's making a so this is like saying
I'm not
a married
professional on that though. He needs to jump in and
No, no,
but
I'm not asking you. So this is not a critique of you, Flatman P. He is saying a contradiction is true. So he's arguing illogically, he's being irrational. A nuclear reaction cannot be true if atoms do not exist. It's just that's just a it violates the law of non-contradiction, the laws of thought that's fundamental to like rational discourse entirely.
You can't say it's true that we split atoms and also atoms don't exist.
Yes.
Yeah. Now he made another claim here. 1 second. Nuclear reactors are just chemical reaction.
Yeah.
And no, but the problem is, no, there are exothermic reactions that give out heat, but none of them are powerful enough to actually generate electricity from. That's the problem. That's why nuclear energy is so efficient.
Yeah.
Well,
It's another contradiction.
The Cherntov radiation would beg to differ, right? You can't have Cherntov radiation.
I have a question, Flat Sabbath. You're saying that, can you prove that atoms exist? Well, how do you prove that the chemical reactions exist? What is our formula to prove that this is a chemical reaction versus an atomical one? I think that if you're going to ask that question, you have to have, a response for your position as well.
Yeah, you can't have chemical reactions if atoms don't exist.
Yep.
Chemical reactions presuppose atomic theory is true.
Yeah. And since you asked, can we prove it? Yes, this is a bunch of articles of the first picture of an atom. That being said, the reason we could do this is because we found a really, really big atom. That means a really large molecule that we have turned into an atom. And I'm going to send you a link for the links for a couple of these things. But we managed to take a picture of
You don't
an
turn
atom.
a molecule into an atom, but
No, it's a really
it's
large.
a large atom.
I agree with you, Oz, about chemical reactions are atomical. That's how you do redox reduction equations. That when you're doing the equations between the different chemicals, they're all atomical. And if you have different kinds of, and that's what you see is like the different fusions and fissions between these atoms. If the atoms if you didn't have atoms, then there wouldn't be any type of equation. You wouldn't have a formula. So it's really bizarre.
We can actually do the mathematics based upon the atomic theory and do chemistry based upon atomic theory. Like it is bizarre. Like
and we make compounds, we make polymers, we make alloys. There's a bunch of things that we make because we understand atomic theory and the composition of matter to such a degree that it allows us to make up new materials that don't exist in nature. We make polymers, atoms, new kinds of plastic. We make a lot of things.
The phone that I'm holding in my hand and my PC on my desk are built on being able to basically move atoms around. That's what the stereolithography that creates the chips. It's like at an atomic scale. I mean, if atoms didn't exist, you couldn't have integrated circuits because
yeah, and the chips that we have, the i7 that's on my laptop right now, that is very advanced, and it's because we understand and we make very tiny lasers that make this lithograph, that make these indentations on a silicone wafer. And all of this happens because we understand all these things.
At least Nathan Oakley and that group of flat earthers don't deny chemistry and atomic theory and all this shit. But you have you have the Witzik camp and the Shane camp that deny like fundamental stuff that's like it's so obvious.
I'm all over the place, bro. I'm not in any camp, dude. I'm just me.
Germ theory equal atomic theory? What?
No, he makes like an equivalence here because he was asking before, I missed the message. He was asking Flat Sabbath if he believed in germs.
Oh, probably not. He probably doesn't.
That equal doesn't mean equal. I think he means equivalent, like how we discovered germ theory, we discovered atomic theory, and we understand all of these things.
He probably believes in terrain theory of germs. He probably brings in terrain theories about what you eat that makes you sick.
We know how
Sounds
they
like a
split the
belief.
atom. We know how
I
this
love.
works exactly.
Why did they say stupid shit like this? Flat Sabbath, and I blame atheists. This stupid shit that Flat Sabbath here, it sounds like a belief to me. I blame these stupid skeptics.
It's pretty funny though. You gotta admit. I mean, you're getting all triggered.
No,
you have
listen
no
to the
idea
explanation.
what I'm going to say, Flatman B. No idea. I blame stupid atheists on the internet. I'm not trying to be mean, but I blame stupid skeptical arguments. It's not real skepticism where they deny having beliefs. Beliefs are not based on beliefs. You can believe something is true and be rational about the beliefs based on your justification for your beliefs, or you can be irrational about the belief. A belief is something you accept as true.
Yeah, I agree.
That's it. It's either irrational or rational. His claims are that you have nuclear reactions, but atoms don't exist, is an irrational belief. He has a belief that nuclear reactions are true, but they're not atomic. That's an irrational belief. I believe that nuclear reactions exist and they're atomic. That's a rational belief. I believe chemical reactions exist and they're atomic. That's a rational belief because I can justify it. He cannot justify chemical reactions. He can just observe them. He cannot justify nuclear reactions. He cannot observe them. He cannot. He can just observe them. He can't justify them because he doesn't know why they happen. I do. I have a justification for my belief. He has none, which means his beliefs are, by definition, irrational. Mine aren't. A knowledge claim is a justified belief that you accept as true. That is, in fact, true. Now, how do you know something is in fact true? That's the hard part to do. Now, usually you would have to say you need to use deductive arguments to prove, like a logical deductive argument to prove something is true. In science, we use induction, which is based on what we have currently observed. So induction doesn't lead to a deductive claim of logical proof. It leads to our best understanding of the nature of reality. We hold this to be true, which is a pragmatic claim. It's a epistemic humility claim. It's how science works. So we want to say it's absolute truth. So some people refuse to claim it's knowledge, except these stupid, I don't want to say they're stupid, except these skeptics, these supposed skeptics online. They're not actually skeptics. They're more like they're scientific skeptics. Anyway, so they're skeptical about non-scientific claims. So I do use pragmatic knowledge. I am a pragmatic naturalist. So I would say they're pragmatic knowledge. They're true until you can show me otherwise.
And
I'm
to
done.
clarify, Tao Software, don't put all atheists in that box. He didn't mean that. Yeah. He means specifically the atheists on the internet that argue against religious people. And they tend to say, I don't have beliefs, because they associate belief with belief in God, and that's a false equivalence.
Yeah, I'll be the first person to tell you that a lot of the things that I come with are bias and belief. I got a system, you know? If you go into a debate with that, you know, and people know where you're coming from, I think that it works out pretty well.
Going to do a minor tangent. Coffee Breath, if you can, check the private chat on StreamYard. Someone left a message there for you. And
I'm an atheist. I'm not attacking all atheists. I'm attacking I'm not trying to call them all stupid. I try to reframe it. I'm saying the atheists that deny the word belief because they've been convinced by the Christian arguments that belief can only be through faith. So they've been convinced that the word belief can only be through faith, but the word belief is just something you accept as true.
You're saying that they think that you're saying that they look at it as like a bad thing.
Thanks, Robin.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So exactly. because of the way they were raised in American culture.
Yeah,
they,
that's fine.
they put this wrong connotation to beliefs. So you get flat earthers that use belief. Oh, that's just a belief, bro. Just a belief. What do you mean? It's a rationally justified belief. That's a good thing. Like there's nothing wrong with that. All claims to belief, all knowledge claims are belief claims. Like all knowledge claims are belief claims. Like, oh, I have no knowledge or beliefs. What are you, a blank slate? You're just like wandering around.
At the end of the day, aren't we all have our own belief system, really? You know?
Yeah, but
sure.
This is something we have been through these motions, through these motions of explaining this and trying to move away from that kind of argument of associating belief as sort of a bad word that you're not meant to say or have. Everyone has beliefs. I believe I will go to sleep and tomorrow I'll wake up. It's a belief. I'm justified in believing that, but
that's
it's not a bad
belief,
word.
by the way.
Are you sure? Are you sure, Max?
No,
you know?
come on.
Yeah. Unless someone breaks into my house and kills me while I sleep, then I will probably wake up.
Yeah, prove gravity. There, I'll drop it again.
Yeah, but Flat Sabbath, I gave you a link that of the the smallest version of the Cavendish, and I'm 99% confident that you didn't even open it before you dismissed it. So yeah, at this point, this is not our problem. We're giving you all the evidence for everything you've asked today. We've invited you over to have a chat with us, come on stage, and you'd rather stay in the side chat and send messages than come talk to us. And at this point, this is not on us. We've done our best effort to try and explain our position to you. We explained the whole thing about atoms, and then you double down on the claim that because nuclear reactors exist, that doesn't mean it's atoms exist, and we had already explained that before. So go ahead.
I want to clarify something too. What happens is usually like the atheists that start the arguments, they explain like, well, when I use the word, I mean this. I don't mean with faith. And they say, well, I'm not using the word that way, so I'm not saying I believe it. I'm saying I accept it as true, so I'm not going to say I believe it. And to clarify, because they're not using the word in the same way. So the less educated people that don't understand the philosophy of the claims hook onto that. Like, and so they share that. And when they're talking on social media, they share that. Then you got all these people on social media. Then it becomes this meme where the people that deny beliefs, right? So it sort of becomes weird.
Dude,
so like my
ahead.
obligation to my audience is just, I shouldn't attack atheists. My obligation to my audience is to say there's nothing wrong to say you accept something is true, and that's what belief means.
Yeah, and a real quick comment. It's just like, atheists, dude, you got a belief system. It just is what it is. It's not a big deal. Like I have no problem with them having that. You know what I mean?
There's a problem though when you say atheists have a belief system. What I hear is you saying atheists have a set of beliefs that are unjustified.
Yeah.
I never said that's a straw man. I didn't say that.
I made it clear that it's what I hear. Right.
Is that what you're saying? Like,
no, I'm being fair, dude. I'm being I'm not saying that.
Yeah, so I don't think Christians' beliefs in the Bible are unjustified. I think it's based on a cultural system that taught them all these claims are true and is justified by the Bible. Now I have arguments for why using the Bible as justification for beliefs is not a good pathway to truth, and that would be like the debate I would use against Flatzoid if we ever do have that debate. Now, and I would try to undermine his premise for his argument, but I would never say a Christian is irrational for using the Bible as justification for his beliefs. But what it becomes a dishonest debate when we're having a debate about the shape of the earth, when the flat earth actually believes in biblical cosmology and they don't admit it and they just attack science.
Well, and my question is, what is biblical cosmology in general? It's very vague and abstract. I don't think the text is literal. in that sense, because if that were the case, wouldn't all Jewish people believe that the Earth is flat?
Yeah.
I mean,
There
because it
is
is
no.
it's Hebraic text, so
Yeah, and there's no monolithic atheistic belief system, as Beheaded Kamikaze brought up too. Like there's like I'm a naturalist, but there's like 1,000 different flavors of naturalist too. So you can't pin me down to other versions of naturalism either. You'd have to ask me what I mean by naturalism. It's just like Christianity. There's 6,000 different denominations of Christianity or whatever it is. There's a lot of denominations. So you'd have to ask them what they mean by when they say they're a Christian. Like most Christians aren't flat earthers. Most Christians accept evolution, right? So you'd have to ask them what they mean by it when they're a Christian.
Science attacks science.
It does. That's what the scientific method is. The peer review process is all about science attacking science. Thank you for noticing. That's what makes it rigorous. That makes what makes it humble. How much does your sect of Christianity attack your own sect of Christianity? That's what you should be asking yourself.
I mean, it's just interesting thinking about biblical hermeneutics. I think it's just really bizarre. Like as a person who's read the text, I'm like, that isn't the first conclusion that I get, that the Earth is flat. I don't even see that the narrative is meant to be taken literally. But it's weird, like going into spaces and hearing that that passage is literal. Like even people are like, well, the world is 6,000 years old, and I'm like, I don't think that the text is saying that. It's just kind of bizarre to hear that. It's a very interesting narrative because
Well, the text is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please.
I was going to say the text is putting that picture forward. It's saying that the Earth is flat, that there is a firmament above it, that the Earth is only 6,000 years old. And as a Christian, the text is mistaken in those things. It's still conveying truth, but it's not conveying that particular truth. It doesn't care about that. That's not what it's for. I think that's what you're saying, but I do think someone who wants to interpret it literally isn't mistaken by thinking that this is what it literally is trying to say.
Thank you.
The way that
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean the way that I view the text is that it's a spiritual text. I don't think that the cosmology is meant to be taken literally. So it's bizarre that one would do that. It's talking about, like, first of all, there's Genesis or Bereshit has two different narratives of how the world is even created. It isn't just one narrative. And it's supposed to be, and that's how we can tell there's these different sources. You have the P source, the J source, the Yahvist source. You have all these different sources, and you have a redactor. You know, if you go into like, biblical, like seminary school, and you go into all that kind of stuff, you learn about this stuff. But the thing that's interesting is you see that these different kinds of sources are here because it's trying to convey a spiritual narrative. It's, for me, as a person who's looking at it, through a religious lens, I don't think it's trying to teach science, and I don't think that's its intention. It's the same thing with my problem with Nadir, where he goes and he's like, well, the Quran is teaching science. And I'm like, I don't think that's the intention of the text. And when you do that, you take away from the text. It's kind of giving you a spiritual cosmology of how God is operating. Because we can't measure God. We can't even scientifically understand God. You can't put God to some scientific test. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I view it. And I think it's really dangerous to take this kind of literalism. And I've been seeing that in America, that, like, particularly in certain spaces, they're like, well, the Bible is literally true. And I'm like, yeah, then I don't think you understand the authorship of it, just to be fair, just to be honest.
Yeah, this is something we've been through, and I still have to hear back, but we may do a part 2 of our series analyzing the claims that the flat earthers take from the Bible with Dr. J tomorrow in the afternoon. So as soon as I get confirmation, if we're going to do that, you'll see that scheduled. And Oz has is telling us that we should be going to sleep, and I agree. We've been going for a little over 2 hours. So we're going to wrap it up. I'm going to start from the bottom up. Coffee Breath, final thoughts, and I'm going to share your website again for everyone to see, and give us your final thoughts, and we'll wrap the show up for tonight. Thank you for being here.
This is just something fun for me to distract my mind while I'm shading. It's fun. I think flat Earth is silly. I think that a literal interpretation of the Bible is doing the Bible an injustice. I get where the interpretation comes from, but I don't think it's doing the text any kind of justice.
All right. Thank you very much. Brenda, final thoughts before we wrap it up for tonight?
I think I'm going to change my opinion of the debate. I think it's almost a draw, because I think that when Craig and Flatzoid got into this bickering mode, it didn't do either any good, and so I kind of think that the outcome was a draw.
All right. Thank you very much. Flatman B, again, I want to thank you for hopping in the room where everyone disagrees with you. You're a valued member of the audience, and we love to have you every time you come on. Final thoughts, please.
Yes, thank you very much for that. And also, I try to get my friends to come, but here I am alone. That's cool. Yeah, man, I believe it's not a globe. And I love everybody here. I love everybody just in general, but yeah, man, it's cool to hang out with people that have different thoughts and opinions, and to not get reckless and angry with each other. It's very healthy.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate you guys. So God bless and much love.
Thank you so much. You're welcome anytime. We also love having you. Ita, final thoughts?
So I'll take your blessing on that one. Thank you for your blessing. But I'm gonna go with Brenda. I think that I'm sorry I didn't get to talk a lot about the debate, but I think it was a tie too. I think they both had interesting points, but I definitely think the bickering doesn't help, and I think we need to maintain composure in these spaces. But one thing I think was really cool is I love these after shows where we can really parse out this kind of information that we don't really get to have in the debate. So this is like a plug for Matters Now. Come to Matters Now, pre-shows and after shows. You may get a lot more fun in than even the debate itself, because we get really cool conversations. So
yeah, it's pretty awesome that we can have this talk. Billy, any final thoughts?
Flatzoid, I mean, I respect that he has a belief in God, but I mean, other people that believe in God don't feel the way he does. So, I mean, not everybody that believes in God thinks the earth is flat. And I decided I'm a bongist now. So I believe that the earth's the shape of a bong, man. Everybody should get high, dude. Yeah, man. All right,
Robin Webster sends us a message and says that she got her shirt and she
send
will
me
send
a shirt,
us
Oz.
a picture soon.
I have no money. I spent too much on super chats today. So.
Robin will love to add your picture to some of our streams and showcase our merchandise. Thank you for your purchase, and friendly reminder to everyone, we have Matters Now purchases. We're still trying to locate the person that did a big purchase and got a bunch of items from the store. We still don't know who that is, but we'll find out and we'll share that with all of you. We're now going to showcase a little bit of the merch that we have, and we have some other ideas coming up for new merchandise and expanding the lineup. There's a bunch of colors. There's women's cuts. It's pretty awesome to have the merch, and you really help the show if you.
No, it actually looks pretty nice too.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. And
I don't mind wearing a little pink,
it helps spread the word, and yeah, we have a couple of new ideas that we're going to be adding to the lineup. It's pretty awesome to have all of these things and the support from all of you. That's you can check the store. It's on the main page of the channel. and you can customize the design and choose. There's hoodies, there's
I
t-shirts,
like the
men and
hoodie.
women.
Yeah, the hoodie
Yeah,
looks good. Yeah.
that's pretty cool. And final thoughts before we wrap it up.
Did you cover Icy Spin's last $2 super chat? If you suspend all God beliefs to your arguments add up.
No, not yet.
Okay, I just did. Thank you. I don't know. Does it?
Yeah, it still add up for me in my mind, but everyone
Okay.
else has their own opinion. That's cool.
Maximiliano Villa asked, will they ship to Singapore? I'm not sure. You might want to check that in the store.
Yeah, you can go check the store and not buy it. You can just see.
Maybe Oz can get on a boat and get it to you.
I mean, I can buy it from here and take it over to you. It might cost you an arm and a leg, but
I'm not sure where it's made. It says imported and processed and printed in the U.S. So I don't know where it's imported from. So I'm not like whatever. I'm not like go raw USA go. I like
USA.
Hey, bro, I love you guys so much, dude. I got to get back to my Discord, bro. People are waiting on me, but dude, it was awesome.
Thank you so
much.
You're welcome back anytime.
I think they are print on demand Icy Spin. I'm not buying a stock of them. So until we hit like 100,000 subs, yeah, I don't make much money on them, but at least you get something out of it if you buy them. So I get like 20%, or we get like 20%. Well, I get it right now. Anyways, we haven't talked, Matt. So, anyways.
Final thoughts before we wrap it up.
No, thanks so much for hosting these. It takes a lot of weight off my shoulders, so I really appreciate it, and so I can work on other content. Today, I just rested. 7th day, right? It's Saturday. So tomorrow, I'll be back on the grind to work on making content, get stuff scheduled for next week, and with that, we have a last-minute super chat.
Sabbath now, huh?
Yeah.
Of course, I'm the best. I'm a good Christian, dude. Like.
Yeah, he defended Christianity and the Bible against Nadir. That was
I
pretty
apologize.
awesome.
I'm sorry.
I'm an ordained minister. You see my symbol, right? That's my holy symbol with the A.
You're like a Jedi master or something, right?
Jedi Knight.
Yes.
Yeah. I got my certificate somewhere. I think. Oh, it's in the living room.
I trust. Yeah, it's just somewhere over there.
Eric Erpelding with a last-minute super chat, $5. Is Flatzoid a sophist, and why does he smile so much? I personally cannot say anything about the whole smiling thing. I know that people have addressed, like, why are people smiling so much? But I do relate to that because I smile for no reason all the time. So I don't know. And as regarding the sophist part, yeah, there's a little sophistry there going on in our opinion. We covered that a little bit earlier today. So if you came in late, maybe go back and see the beginning of the debate. And Icy Spin asks us, is there a version of the logo without the outer black drop? I love the logo. That would be my one criticism. Oz is bringing a sword, just like that. Christ brings a sword. And another $5 from Singapore, Maximiliano. Max, thank you so much.
I will make. I'll tell you what, just for you, that's will be one of the things I work on. Icy Spin tomorrow. Let me take a snippet of that, and that will be not too hard to.
Yeah, someone else brought up that I think it was Neo that brought up that that he didn't like the square. He would like maybe the logo, the logo brought up. And Icy Spin says, Christ brought that. Nuh-uh. Yeah, he got finally banned from the channel for being insulting. So I want to thank everyone. As soon as I hear back from Dr. J, if he wants to do a show, and also said that he might also be doing a show tomorrow. So you might get a double feature.
This isn't actually a sword; it's a beater. So I have the sword version of this. This is a a beater sword, a practice sword, so it has the same weight and heft of the actual sword. For the same exact sword, it's just a practice version of the same sword.
How many people have you impaled with your sword?
That sounds like a personal question that I'm not at liberty to tell you because
Yeah.
my wife gets mad.
That has legal ramifications if I answer. Like I cannot. My lawyer advised me to keep silent. All
Well, I
right.
think Bryce brings a sword may have seen that sword, right? He saw the man's sword.
I have about 20 or 30. I don't know. I have a lot of swords in there.
So yeah, don't mess with Ocean. You might get
I have a
lightly stabbed.
crossbow. I have tons of stuff in there I'm not going to talk about.
All right. I want to thank everyone for joining us in the after show. This one was particularly fun. We had awesome discussions. We had quite a few laughs, looked at some evidence, and it was overall a fantastic joy to be tonight here with you. We'll catch you tomorrow if we manage to schedule a show with Dr. J, and us might be doing one of his shows in the afternoon probably. So thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel. It was absolutely awesome. Have an excellent night and a great weekend.